psycho pension. You really are crazy.
September 22nd, 2020. Joe here at the Wake Up Channel. Appreciate everybody for joining me today. Good news that Senator Romney is, at least for the moment, not going to be a rhino and actually go along with the Constitution. We know that Trump is trying to follow the Constitution as well as he can, but he keeps getting sidetracked by all of the hoaxes and the impeachment scandals and so forth coming out of the left. They are threatening this again. Here is Nancy talking her nonsense once again on mainstream media.
A point, the reason the president and Leader McConnell are moving forward so quickly is because they want to overturn the Affordable Care Act. And when people understand, and they do, what this means in their lives, no more benefit of the pre-existing condition, no more having your children be on your policy until 26 years old, no more having Medicaid expanded to cover long-term health care and the needs of our children with pre-existing conditions, and returning to a time where being a woman is a pre-existing medical condition.
So we know that RBG, the notorious RBG Ruth Bader Ginsburg, now I don't want to throw her under the bus, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg has not had a stellar record in the Supreme Court. She has been a dissenter on pretty much everything. But she has also seen, most importantly, as protecting abortion rights. Now, I am pro-life. Well, this isn't an abortion type of video. I'm not going to get into all of the various reasons why I am against it. I believe it is a state issue, not a Supreme Court issue, not a federal issue. I think states have the right to choose how they want to govern their own states. That is just me. That is part of the Constitution. Of course, people who are pro-choice do not want to think about these simple constitutional things because every state has autonomous rights to do what they feel is right. Now, they do have to abide by certain federal regulations, but on the most part, they are semi-autonomous states. That's why they call the United States the United States. We all live under the Constitution, but the people who run the states have some sort of semi-autonomous liberties in how they do it, as long as they're not violating someone's constitutional rights. People keep forgetting about this when it comes to the whole pandemic thing and why we have so many deaths. What most people do not want to come to terms with is that we do have lower mortality rates than most of the European countries that people keep pointing to as being so much better. Now, we have recently reached the 200,000 milestone death count, and we are going to continue counting this because it's going to be continuously fed into the mainstream media. Now, if for some reason Biden does win, we'll not hear about this anymore. This will just simply go away. But that is not what I am talking about. This is just simply about a president doing his constitutional duty in replacing a justice. Now, Tim Kaine, the press secretary, actually came out and was talking about this here recently as well today. I will go ahead and play that clip for you now.
Now a high crime and misdemeanor worthy of impeachment for a lawfully elected President of the United States to exercise his constitutional duty. Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution clearly states that the President, quote, shall nominate, end quote, justices of the Supreme Court when a vacancy occurs. No matter the time, no matter the politics of the day, the President is the President. There's nothing in the Constitution that says the President stops being the President in an election year. The President has already appointed 2 strong conservative justices to the Supreme Court, justices who will interpret the Constitution as written. Now, he will nominate a 3rd. As Senator Ted Cruz reminds us, we're 1 vote away from seeing our religious liberty votes stripped away, from our free speech stripped away, from our Second Amendment being stripped away. Just 1 vote. Contrast the president's solemn constitutional duty with Democrats' search and destroy politics. Nancy Pelosi has vowed to attack the president with, quote, arrows. Speaker Pelosi will not rule out impeaching this president for doing his job, for fulfilling his constitutional obligation. AOC said that impeachment is an option, quote, on the table, while Chuck Schumer stood by, nodding approvingly.
A point, the reason the president and Leader McConnell are moving
Sorry about that. I do these things live, so sometimes videos overlap each other. I apologize about that. But that was very important message from Kayleigh McEnany because, and you could probably say that she was probably trying to instill fear into other people by saying that our freedom of religion and freedom of protection and Second Amendment rights and so forth are going to be threatened. But that is exactly what has been happening over the last 3 years, 3.5 years. We have seen the constant censorship of conservative views on social media. We have seen churches, even through the pandemic, just off the top of my head, that's the first thing that kind of picks that kind of stands out, that there are 60% of churches that are still closed. I see mosques that are open all the time now. Many of them are opening. But in a lot of these liberal democratic states, they are keeping the churches closed. Now, I am not one for hyperbole. But this is I tend to see patterns, and anything that is conservative based, anything that is Christian based, anything that is constitutional based is being attacked. And this is just yet another one of those things. They are going to try to impeach the president for following the Constitution. We see over and over what they really think of the Constitution. Of course, I believe that Kayleigh McEnany is very smart. Smart. But I also think that she brings up a lot of obvious points, and these aren't really smart points. These are just obvious constitutional points. They're bringing up impeachment because the president is going to be following the Constitution. That is absolutely insane. What was actually even more insane, she follows up with their threats. The Democrats are threatening to blow the entire system up. Watch.
Don Lemon said the quiet part out loud last night. He said this: we're going to have to blow up the entire system if the president does his job as outlined in the Constitution. That's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. We fight to protect the system. We fight to protect the Constitution. When Democrats say outright, we are going to blow up the entire system because we do not get our way.
And that's really what it boils down to. If the Democrats cannot get their way, and I'm not talking about just Democrats in general, I'm talking about these Marxist, communist people who have an absolute 100% agenda to change the system. We all know that the election is going to be contentious. We all know this. There is going to be a constitutional crisis in November, especially when we have no idea who the winner is going to be. Hopefully Trump will win in a landslide. I don't think that is going to happen. If I'm just being honest, I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be very tight. It is going to be a very tight election. But all of these mail-in the ballot votes are going to come in late. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but there is a high probability that that will happen, and we will have a contentious election in November. I think the debates are going to further separate one way or the other. Either Trump could come out as a bully and he could lose some support. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to stick to the facts. But there's also a very high probability chance that Biden will be coming out and people will see him for the senile old man that he is. I feel sorry for him. I really do. I feel really angry that the Democrat Party has put forward a dinosaur just to satisfy their own desires to take back power. And it has nothing to do with the American public. It has nothing to do with the Constitution and the progression of our more perfect union that we are always striving towards. It has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with, and what the Democrats do when they are up against a wall, is they resort to fear tactics.
I told them we were all going to die.
And that is exactly what everyone is going to be thinking going forward. They think that if they don't vote for Biden, if they don't absolutely freak out over this whole Constitution and Supreme Court thing right now, which is not even a thing, that they are going to die. They're going to have all their rights stripped away from them. They need to understand, if you're a Democrat and you're listening to this, please understand that Trump and the Republicans, I'm not a fan of Republicans or Democrats. But the reason why I voted for Trump, the reason why I'm going to continue to vote for Trump, well, at least this time, because he can't run a third time because of the Constitution, right? It's all about the Constitution and protecting constitutional rights. But the Democrats want to make the Constitution irrelevant. That is what they are all about. Unfortunately, that is 2020 in a nutshell. I'll see you in a next video. Have a great day. Bye.